Friends, before starting today's horror story, I would like to tell you a very interesting stat. 80% of our viewers who watch our stories haven't subscribed to our channel. And if you are one of them, you have to do a small task where you have to click to the subscribe button and also press the bell icon so that you are the first to get the notification as soon as our video arrives. The wardrobe in apartment 13. Ryan, a 30-year-old interior designer, had recently moved to Chicago after getting a new job. It was his first time living alone, and after receiving his first salary, he wanted to make his apartment feel like home. Ryan had a love for antiques, especially rare wooden furniture, but with a tight budget, he decided to look for just one standout piece. Something beautiful but affordable. He searched online and came across a small antique store located in a quiet corner of the city. The next day, Ryan went to the shop. The store looked small and dusty, almost forgotten by time. But right at the entrance stood a beautiful old wooden wardrobe. It had 2 large carved doors and seemed to be made of 3 different types of wood. The design was intricate, and something about it pulled Ryan in. When he asked the shopkeeper about it, the man quickly said it was not for sale. Ryan, however, insisted and offered a fair price. After some hesitation, the shopkeeper agreed to sell it for half its worth, and even offered free delivery. Ryan was thrilled. He didn't realize that the wardrobe would bring something dark into his life. That same night, Ryan was asleep when he heard knocking on his bedroom door. He got up to check, but there was no one there. Thinking he might have imagined it, he went back to sleep. But just a few minutes later, he heard the knocking again. He got up quickly and checked again. Still no one. Feeling confused and sleepy, he brushed it off and went back to bed. The next morning, as he got ready for work, he opened the wardrobe to grab his clothes. But instead of his shirts, he found small, dried bones lying on one of the shelves. They looked like they belonged to an animal, maybe a bird or a small cat. Before he could fully react, a cat ran across the room and jumped out the window. Ryan thought the bones must have been something the cat dragged in. He cleaned the wardrobe and threw the bones in the trash. Later that evening, when he returned home from work, he noticed his front door was already slightly open. Alarmed, he checked inside. Nothing seemed out of place. All his things were there, and the windows were locked. He asked the security guard if anyone had entered the apartment, but the guard said no one had gone in or out. Ryan clearly remembered locking the door that morning. Still, he tried to convince himself that maybe he had simply forgotten. That night, something even stranger happened. Ryan was once again woken by the same knocking sound, but this time, it wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from the wardrobe. He sat up in bed, heart pounding. Slowly he got out of bed and walked toward the wardrobe. The sound grew louder with each step. When he opened the doors, the bones were back, lying just as before. Before he could react, he heard the faint sound of a child crying. He leaned down to look inside, and there, crouched in the lower shelf of the wardrobe, was a small boy. The boy looked no older than 5. His skin was grayish-white, and his eyes were pitch black. Ryan stood frozen. The child slowly looked up, stretched out one hand, and grabbed Ryan's wrist. The cold touch shocked Ryan back to his senses. He screamed and pulled away with all his strength. Somehow, he broke free and ran out of the apartment. That night, he stayed at a friend's place, unable to sleep, thinking about what he had seen. The next morning, he stormed into the antique store and grabbed the shopkeeper's collar. "Why did you sell me that thing?" Ryan shouted. The shopkeeper, looking frightened, told him the full story. The wardrobe had once belonged to a man who lived alone with his young son. His wife had died during childbirth, and the man had never recovered. He became an alcoholic and blamed the child for her death. Whenever he drank, he would lock the boy inside the wardrobe to punish him. One night, in a drunken state, he forgot about the child and left him locked inside the wardrobe overnight. By morning, the boy had died from suffocation. A few days later, the man was found dead in the same house. The police said it was suicide. The house and its contents were later auctioned off. The shopkeeper had bought the wardrobe, not knowing its dark history. But after taking it to his store, he began experiencing strange things. Items moving on their own, cold winds, and whispers at night. He tried to destroy the wardrobe, but it always stayed intact. Eventually, he decided not to sell it to anyone. But Ryan had insisted so strongly that he gave in. "I warned you," the shopkeeper said. "It's cursed." Shaken, Ryan returned home and dragged the wardrobe out of his apartment. He left it on the curb and went back inside. That night, he felt a bit more at peace. Maybe the nightmare was over. But at 3 a.m., a loud knocking woke him again. He sat up, sweating. Slowly he turned his head, and his heart nearly stopped. The wardrobe was back, standing right where it used to be, as if it had never been moved. If you like the story, then do subscribe to our channel, Bloody Monday, and keep watching for more such spine-chilling horror videos. Please do share the videos with your friends and family so that we could get motivation for uploading more of such spooky videos. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our eerie, heart-pounding videos. Keep watching and stay brave.